know that every machine has a soul, and when you've ridden one long enough, you start feeling its heartbeat. Even though it is not there, you feel the breeze. You feel the sound, you feel the smell. For the past few days, something has been missing. The feeling of loosing your hand, something like that. Never experienced this before. When I first gave the bike in for restoration, I didn't feel it that time. But as time moves on, the feeling starts to grow. If the bike will come in one piece, if it will have the same corrector, personality, I'm not sure. Still heart beats like a Cherokee drum, still feeling a light heart pains. But when I got this call, my heart felt like it was on cloud 9. But somehow the words didn't roll out of my tongue when I first saw it back from restoration. I was starstruck. So let's hit it with the FCP.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of SUNIL Street. Yes, I know, I'm back on the motorcycle, ladies and gentlemen. It's so happy to see my motorcycle back in action, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I did some new things over here, but once a legend, always a legend, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying something out. I have a new camera, new mic inputted, and let me know how this works, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't turn out any of the audio systems or anything. I just put everything on standard. So hope this audio sounds cool, ladies and gentlemen. If so, drop it down in the comment section below. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, where are we off to right now? Well, first and foremost, I have some work at my college, so I'm going to go there. But obviously, the time I'm recording is around 12 o'clock right now, ladies and gentlemen. My work starts about 2, so I have about 1.5 hours to edit this video too. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what I was talking about. So, as you might seen from the FSC, ladies and gentlemen, for sure cinematic shots. Yes, and you might have also seen me in my last 2 videos on where this motorcycle has gone. If not, let a little recap, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I bought this motorcycle. This is the original 1989 Yamaha RX 100 Gen 2, ladies and gentlemen. What do I mean by Gen 2? So, first and foremost, let's get up on the Yamaha lineup, ladies and gentlemen. So you got the Yamaha RX 100, the first gen, which came about in 1988. I put the right over here, ladies and gentlemen, so you can see it. But the 1988 was the first version of the Yamaha RX 100. Then they came out with the 1989 Yamaha RX 100 version 2 with in partnership with Escorts Motors. Why did I say Gen 1? Because the Gen 1 launched only in Japan and Gen 2 only came to India, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the Gen 2 model. Obviously, it doesn't have the RPM meter, but for this purpose, I'll explain that in a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, the Gen 2 which came, ladies and gentlemen, it had about 11 PS of power at 7,500 RPM, produced it about 100 cc's, ladies and gentlemen. This was a motorcycle, whether you were a novice or even an adventure tourer or even an experienced rider with 57 years of riding experience, this will someday, one day, ladies and gentlemen, pull it over there. Why so? Because this has a mind of its own, ladies and gentlemen. That's why this bike has a cult classic among enthusiasts of motorcycling throughout the years, ladies and gentlemen, to say the least. Because the RX100 is still today in year 2025 is still a cult classic, ladies and gentlemen. Even today, if you want to buy a brand new one, I'm sorry, not a brand new one, but a one that is perfectly maintained and restored to its original condition, can fetch you about 2.5 lakh rupees. Am I recording everything? Yeah, 2.5 lakh rupees, ladies and gentlemen. So that's how much this bike goes in today's market, ladies and gentlemen. So for that, Gen 2, well, the Gen 2 had one thing in particular, ladies and gentlemen. The Yamaha RX100 with a 6-volt electrical system. This still has a 6-volt electrical system with the original CD unit, ladies and gentlemen. There's too much technical talk about the CD unit and the electrical stuff of this motorcycle, so I leave it all for all of the tech persons out there who know a lot about electricity than me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just a novice in it, but anyway, you get the point, right? So they also did release a year after launching this Gen 2, ladies and gentlemen. They launched another RX100. The difference was they changed it from a 6-volt system to 12-volt system. Why did they do that, ladies and gentlemen? Because the 6-volt system is a little bit hard to handle in terms of electricity, ladies and gentlemen, because mostly, let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, in today's world too, in 2025, the bike electricians who are doing a lot of other motorcycles, for even the top end motorcycles, are struggling to find how to do this motorcycle in particular with a 6-volt system, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why they turned it to a 12-volt system, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty much it. They didn't change any of that other systems, ladies and gentlemen. They just kept it as it is. So with that said, the RX100 became a goddamn cult classic, ladies and gentlemen. It became a cocaine of motorcycles, and this is how perfect marketing and a perfect motorcycle always stays together, ladies and gentlemen. Because when it was first launched in the year 1989, they just put fuel as fuel to the burning fire that this motorcycle is in terms of marketing, ladies and gentlemen. Why so? Because they did this slogan, ladies and gentlemen, because the first, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing why Yamaha launched this motorcycle is because of Indu Suzuki, ladies and gentlemen. Well, they launched the bike called as the Indu Suzuki the AX100, which was then changed into Gen 2 with Maxa 100. That's all another part of the story, ladies and gentlemen. That all gone into the smokes, ladies and gentlemen, because that they didn't get any cult classic or following like this motorcycle had. Well, Yamaha thought of that too, ladies and gentlemen. When the first ever edition of the AX100 was launched, I think so about 87 or 86. I'll put the right timestamp over here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm bad with years, but you get the point, right? Yamaha thought that, you know what, I'm going to release a motorcycle that is going to change the entire landscape of 100cc motorcycles for generations to come. And that's how this beautiful motorcycle came into play, ladies and gentlemen. This, even still today, as I told you before, ladies and gentlemen, it's a hard piece to find. And with the markets growing up rapidly in today's world, it's even tougher to find a good motorcycle, ladies and gentlemen. Even a good, only a chassis with nothing on it cost about 50,000 rupees in Indian currency, ladies and gentlemen. I put a USD right over here. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, let me get into the models that the Yamaha produced during the years, ladies and gentlemen. So first and foremost was the RX100 Gen 1, the Gen 2, ladies and gentlemen, and then they brought up the RX135 a little bit more. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I got an itch on my face. So back, ladies and gentlemen. So they did launch another motorcycle, the RX135, a 135cc engine, but with the same same entire thing. See right over here, ladies and gentlemen, this is what the RX135 had, just on a 135cc engine, ladies and gentlemen. That, as the name suggests, ladies and gentlemen, it didn't do that much well. Yes, it did had a good hype, ladies and gentlemen, but unfortunately it didn't make the cut. Yeah, that's the issue, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, turning. I like these curves, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why I took the road over here. But anyway, as I was telling you before, ladies and gentlemen, that's why that motorcycle never got the buzz or the craze that the RX100 got, ladies and gentlemen. But still, it's a good motorcycle. It's a 135cc. They did update a few little things here and there. They did add a disc brake combo to it, ladies and gentlemen. But still, the RX100, once a legend, once a true legend always stays a legend forever, ladies and gentlemen. So what did they release after that, ladies and gentlemen? Well, they did release a sportive version of the RX100, ladies and gentlemen, called as the RXZ in India, but in US they called it, and other markets they called it that the RX King, ladies and gentlemen. The RXZ was success for sure, ladies and gentlemen, but none could find the market as this, ladies and gentlemen. And the RXZ had a few peculiar things that were a little bit different compared to that of, oh, I cannot film right over here, I had to take a U-turn, ladies and gentlemen. Just give me one second, I'm recording. Yep. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, as I was telling you before, the RXZ was something that reminded of today's generation of the R15M, ladies and gentlemen. You might have seen it, the R15. That, well, the RXZ was its godfather, let's say its grandfather too, ladies and gentlemen, because it had all the first ever body paneling, same as the R15, ladies and gentlemen. It had a race bike styling, had race bike graphics. It did have an RPM machine like this one, and also, ladies and gentlemen, it did have a fuel meter, which none of the RX lineup had, ladies and gentlemen. So this is where I got that from, ladies and gentlemen. And to Yamaha's credit too, ladies and gentlemen, Yamaha thought of this too. People might in the future have an idea to change all of the parts from the RXZ to the RX100, ladies and gentlemen, because it fits so perfectly without anything, ladies and gentlemen. So they did so. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you. Shit, yeah, tough turn. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, as I was telling you before, this is a clutch cover, ladies and gentlemen, and in that clutch cover is a tiny little hole that is pierced even in the from the company, ladies and gentlemen, and that allowed you to add an RPM gauge to it, ladies and gentlemen. You can basically add an RPM gauge take it from the Yamaha RXZ, and you can add it right over here without doing anything, ladies and gentlemen. You just need a little bit of, I think, a small plastic wheel, as well as the cable that is needed for the RPM meter. You just join it over there with the clutch pedal system, and that's pretty much it. Obviously it's not accurate, ladies and gentlemen. Right now it's saying about 4000 RPM, but technically I'm standing around at 3500 RPM, ladies and gentlemen. You get the point, ladies and gentlemen. It's just for styling purposes, not anything much, ladies and gentlemen, but you get the point, right? So where was my motorcycle for a month and a half? Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I bought this motorcycle about 4 years ago, which was in the color of blue, ladies and gentlemen. I thought of restoring this motorcycle to its former glory, because unfortunately the guy who I bought it from is an 85-year-old man, and obviously he didn't have the time or money or the good mechanics, the main part, ladies and gentlemen, the good mechanic to tune this motorcycle to its perfect condition. So I just left it as it is, just check up with the brakes, the clutch, the spark plugs, as well as the carburetors, ladies and gentlemen, and just rode it about in towns or so. So even though I got this motorcycle, ladies and gentlemen, even I couldn't find a good mechanic. I did find one good mechanic, but he was not that good enough to fit these kind of motorcycles, ladies and gentlemen. You need a particular kind of mechanic to fit vintage motorcycles, ladies and gentlemen. So I was searching for about 4.5 years. I asked so many goddamn people. Place that where I'm living from is an automotive heaven, ladies and gentlemen, but still I couldn't find one that could do a vintage motorcycle like this one, ladies and gentlemen. But I did find a guy who was reasonable enough, who did a lot of Yamaha RX100, and he was also in the partaking of the Yamaha RX100 when it was launched, and he did a lot of work when this motorcycle was new. So I had a little bit of faith in him. And also, ladies and gentlemen, remember the parts, I can get it. The parts are still being made today as we speak, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously it's not going to be original Yamaha parts, but still you can get the parts from, if you are in Coimbatore or if you are in Tamil Nadu, hit up E Road and you can find a shop name as Palaniyappa Auto Shop, ladies and gentlemen. If you find that, it's an RX100 heaven, ladies and gentlemen. They got parts for all RX100 or 135 RXZ, ladies and gentlemen. Anything you want, even the nut bolt, they have, ladies and gentlemen. I leave all of their links down in the description below, ladies and gentlemen. From them only I got all of the parts. You might have seen it in video 2 as well as video 1. I leave it in the description below. If you have not yet seen it, or it will appear on the end card, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about that. But I did buy all of the parts. So what did I buy for this motorcycle, ladies and gentlemen? Obviously I did buy a lot of parts. I did forget most of the parts that I bought, but still hope I have a little bit of memory to So first and foremost is going to be the meter cage, ladies and gentlemen. Is both of them are new, both of them from the RXZ. I know it has an fuel gauge, but I couldn't find. I mean, I had the fuel gauge, but I couldn't find the fuel meter to put it inside and to make the fuel gauge work properly. So if I did have that, also it is going to be at empty or full. It's not going to show the correct value. So I told him, you know what? Let's delete the fuel meter. Obviously, I know how to work this motorcycle, so I can find out when this motorcycle gets into reserve, and then I can fill it, right? So instead of that, I kept it with a neutral light system, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the center light panel, and obviously that meters, the cables for everything, O-rings, nuts and bolts for all of these to fit, as well as in terms of engine. I did buy a new piston, a new cylinder kit, as well as a new clutch box, as well as a new clutch wheel, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is new, and to my surprise, I didn't even need to change the standard cylinder kit, ladies and gentlemen, because I can actually do a sleeve on this. Because remember, my ladies and gentlemen, it has run around 1 lakh kilometers before I self got it, because the guy that I bought it from rode it to its last knees, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why. And also standard kits that came with the motorcycle, you can do only about 2 sleeves in it, ladies and gentlemen. After that you can do it, but first 2 sleeves are like the original condition of the motorcycle, and if you keep on doing that, then it becomes the engine is not strong enough, you get a lot of loose parts, oil flows everywhere. It's a messy thing, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why I needed to remove that also, ladies and gentlemen, and I did a first sleeve, obviously, and after that, ladies and gentlemen, I changed the entire fuel system also. New fuel filters, new fuel drain plugs, new fuel pump system, everything was new. The tank is not new, ladies and gentlemen. Tank, I'm waiting for the parts to come from Erode, Palani Auto Spots. I just ordered it. I think it cost about 12k rupees. Yeah, 12 or 10k rupees, I'm not sure, ladies and gentlemen. And also this, one second, ladies and gentlemen, the sound that you're hearing right now is definitely not the Yamaha RX100 2-stroke sound, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, this motorcycle is a greasy, smelly, oil-hungry, race-driven motorcycle, ladies and gentlemen. So when you punch that shit, you hear the sound that is made to hear, ladies and gentlemen. Just give me 1 second, I'll show you. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is not the original sound of the motorcycle, ladies and gentlemen. This is just, I couldn't find the original code that goes inside the exhaust chamber, ladies and gentlemen, and also I need to change the exhaust tube, ladies and gentlemen. I have ordered both the parts for the exhaust as well as the internal core and the, this thing, ladies and gentlemen, the tank for this motorcycle. It has not yet arrived. It will arrive in a couple of days or so, ladies and gentlemen. So that time I'll show you the original exhaust sound too, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, man. For now, ladies and gentlemen, at 315 kilometers, I cannot go more than 65 kps. 60 is the best I can keep it, because the engine is not yet tuned, ladies and gentlemen. So you can see there's a new engine, new clutch box, new clutch levers, new clutch plates, new pistons, new everything, ladies and gentlemen. So this bike is brand spanking new, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, whatever motorcycle you buy, whether it's an older classic vintage motorcycle or even a newer motorcycle, ladies and gentlemen, proper maintenance and care is always necessary to make the bike keep running for generations to come, ladies and gentlemen. And that's how this motorcycle has gained a cult following, ladies and gentlemen. This bike still today are most desired compared to that of the 2025 KTM Duke 390s or the Pulsars NS 160, 200, 250, ladies and gentlemen. That's how much popularity this motorcycle has gained over the years. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I've been continuously talking. It's a little bit rough on the throat. But as I was telling you before, ladies and gentlemen, if you can find this motorcycle in a good piece of condition, I highly suggest you to get it. Yes, it's a little bit tight on the wallet. I know I just spent a lot of money on restoring this entire piece of machinery, ladies and gentlemen, and there's still paint to finish, as well as there's still rims to be finished on the front and back. Both of them are at my home. I'll show you on the next video, ladies and gentlemen. And And the reason for me not being on the YouTube grind, ladies and gentlemen, that's because I was recording this video and I did buy some new gear and new tech stuff for motor vlogging, ladies and gentlemen. I was just checking out how this motorcycle feels and everything and how the system works. So that's why I had to wait a little bit longer before I can shoot this, ladies and gentlemen. But the college is right over there, ladies and gentlemen. Just give me 1 second.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, hope you like this video. Hope this video was informative enough. Well, let me know what should I do next with my Yamaha RX100. Drop it down in the comment section below. And thank you to all of the mechanics around the world for trying to make a legacy live as a legacy, ladies and gentlemen. To all the mechanics, hats off. And special shout out to Erode Palaniappa Auto Spots for providing the spare parts needed at the right time and also for the quickest time, ladies and gentlemen. With that said, hope you like this video, ladies and gentlemen. If so, you know what to do. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, turn on that bell notification, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.